There are so many videos about how to answer interview questions, how to do this, how to prepare for your interview. What I've done is I've gone through quite a few different lists of top interview tips, top 100 tips, top 20 tips, you know the gist if you've been having a look online. And what I've tried to do is pick ones that I think are either easily forgettable or just not mentioned at all, but quite helpful to remember. So the night before, my first tip would be try and eat a healthy meal, something that's not going to upset your stomach. It's not the time to get risky with, spicy foods or anything that you know that might make you feel a bit icky the next day. You may as well stay on something safe for you. And equally, drink some water, stay hydrated the night before. Second tip is plan your outfit for the next day. Check it's clean, hang it up to let any creases fall out overnight if you don't have an iron. But don't be so fixated on, I've picked this outfit out, I'm going to wear it no matter what, because the weather might be different tomorrow than what you expected. You might think, you know what, I'd like an extra jumper. So try and have a couple of outfits in mind that would work for different weather scenarios. Number 3, pack your bag. So you might want gum, charger, lip balm, gloves, sunscreen, things that are weather dependent, and also like perfume or a body spray, because depending on how much you've got to travel for it, there's no guarantee that you're going to smell good at the end of your traveling. There's a lot of smells on trains, there's a lot of smells on buses, so having something that you can, kind of a non-offensive smell that you can spray on your body, have a bit of gum to reduce whatever breath is happening from what you have from lunch. It just means that you can enter your interview feeling your best. Also pack some water, just a bottle of water, even if it's not something you normally have. It just means you're not going to have to buy it at some other point. Number 4 is something I don't see mentioned at all anywhere, but the night before, do something you find fun. Watch TV, play video games, play with your dog, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Don't kind of spend all night cramming and not relaxing, sort of researching all the interview questions. Hopefully in the kind of lead up to this interview, you've done all of that prep work. But what you do in the kind of evening before the interview, some of it will make a difference, but it's important to be relaxed and be comfortable when you go into the interview. And I think having some fun the night before, just relaxing, is a way you can do that. Equally, my 5th tip is pick one preparation task to do before you sleep or earlier in the evening. That could be recapping common interview questions, just to allow yourself to feel reassured that you have done something towards the interview. You're not just relaxing all evening. Just to kind of set your mind at ease. Do one task, that's your last preparation task. You can do other things on your journey there if you want to, but kind of from that task you feel fully prepared. You can relax. Number 6, check the directions, check the transport links you need to use to get to the interview. You might want to check if there's any train cancellations, anything like that could disrupt your journey, and just check the directions. Have a once over. Don't trust it to make sense when you go the next day on Google Maps, because often, especially with buildings, there can be different entrances and Google Maps isn't always the most accurate for how you need to get into a building, and there's often like unaccessible walkways, stuff like that is what I found. So checking if it's a university interview, maybe check the campus map. That can be quite helpful for finding the ways into buildings. But yeah, have a quick look over that the night before, just so it's not in the rush the next day. Number 7 is quite important. Charge your phone. Like I just said, you might be using it for maps, you might be using it for train tickets, and it's really important that you've got full charge in the first thing to give yourself the best chance of having charge at the end of the day. Equally, number 8, give your travel plans a buffer time in case of delays. For one of my interviews, I needed to get 3 trains there and then a bus to campus. A lot could go wrong with that. So I arrived in the city centre a few hours before my interview, had some lunch. Then I wanted to get some gum and some gloves because my hands were freezing. It was very early January. So I stood in what must have been the longest pound line queue I've ever been in. So that meant I ended up missing the bus that I had meant to catch because I was hoping to arrive a couple, 15 minutes early, have a quick look around, make sure I knew my entrance. So I ended up getting the bus that kind of got me there exactly on time. Point 8.5, which kind of goes with that one, is have the contact information of the interviewer or the admin people available so you can update them if you are running late. Because we all know that turning up late to an interview is bad. It's kind of an initial black mark. If you are proactive in letting them know you're going to be late and explaining why you're late rather than kind of turning up 15 minutes late unapologetically, it's going to go a little bit more in your favour. Number 9, which I think is very rarely mentioned, is start getting excited about the idea of getting this position. I think a lot of the articles that I found were suggesting that you go in think good about yourself, but don't get your hopes up because you might not get the position. And while I understand that it can be quite exhausting if you've been getting rejection after rejection and you don't want to get your hopes up, but realistically, you're going to be disappointed if you're rejected either way, so you might as well enjoy the excitement of it and try and let that enthusiasm show and let that go in your face, rather than feeling like it's unlikely you're going to get it. Just go in optimistic, and even though you just got to try your best, and getting excited about it, getting excited about the buildings, getting excited about the city that you might live in, can go a long way to helping you feel more positively. Also, remember that you're assessing them. I know that sounds really annoying when you're hearing it and you've not got a position and it's like, well, they're assessing me, they decide if I'm gonna come here. But if you're not liking the area or you're not liking it, you do have some element of being able to choose. Anyway, if you're not sure where to your interview, I have a video on that which I'll pop up. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.